Space, the final frontier.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right.
Let's see what's out there. Engage.
Hello and good afternoon / evening. Star Trek: The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode 25, Conspiracy is over. And it has been since May of 1988. But we're just getting started here on Live Long and Podcast here in the year 2024 for our live stream review as we continue our mission to watch every episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation and talk about it and review it, give it a rating. I'm Dave Mader. This is a live stream here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We got a great panel to break this all down. Once again, we have the inimitable Kevin Millard with us.
I'd rather just hold off.
Oh,
Wait
okay.
till we get...
Okay, hold off.
Yeah.
Hold off then. Then we got, of course, Jody Simpson. Did you introduce me to my wife, or was that my sister?
I don't really want to speak about this right now.
Oh,
Let's-
okay.
Let's do it in
okay.
person.
Right, of course. And last, but of course not least, it is the great Davan Skelhorn, the great pumpkin himself.
Well, you know, I would feel a lot better if we could have this conversation on Ditalics B. Hold on a second.
Oh, good. So we have an overlay.
Someone made it an overlay.
Well,
Kind of a background.
perhaps we should turn that off.
There we go. Here we are on Ditalics B.
Was this what you
So
guys
Dave,
cooked up while I was?
You
rebooting?
tell me, David.
Yes.
Yeah, Dave Mader.
What is the name of the ancestral island?
McNabb's Island. It's quite an exotic one, if I recall.
Okay. Jody?
Dave, what is the name of the team you currently play on?
The Mallrats? Well,
What is the trivial debate safe word?
cinnamon banana?
That's Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
convinced.
Dave. Okay, we can talk about this then.
Just wanted to
We
make
can
sure we all are who all we say we are. Good things there. You know, this is almost like Dominion War-esque kind of questioning, except for blood screenings. It's about, do you remember what happened yesterday?
Just wait, Dave. The blood screenings are coming.
Well, we don't have to hang around in this stupid cave anymore.
Yes. No, we don't. Okay, well, in this episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, following a meeting with a fellow captain, the strange behavior of high-ranking officials leads Jean-Luc Picard and the crew of the Enterprise to uncover a conspiracy of senior Starfleet officers possessed by parasitic aliens who are preparing to invade the United Federation of Planets. Best episode of the season, here says Sam, commenting live. We're going to break this all down.
It's not wrong.
We're in the new format where I don't ask you what you guys think. We're just going to get into it, and then we can interject our thoughts.
But I want to tell you what I think.
But the real Dave would ask us what we think.
It's true.
But
Who's this new guy who
Drew,
doesn't?
not into this. These.
I don't like it.
Yeah, you're moving things around,
Bring back
trying
old
to take
Dave.
over.
You bring it
This
back,
doesn't
Dave,
sound
Sam?
right.
You
You give me nothing to believe in. Just a lot of vague talk about strange patterns,
yeah, it's right.
irrational proposals.
Exactly. You guys hear that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. Well, let's jump into our screenshots and break down everything that happens in this episode, starting with the Enterprise at Warp. And we got Jody telling a story, a joke to Data that ends with,
Just try that in hyperspace.
Data finding that humorous indeed.
Very humorous indeed.
These look like press shots.
Yes, exactly. We're told that they're heading to the planet Pacifica, which is some kind of ocean planet, some kind of, with luscious beaches, and is one of the gems of the galaxy. We're told, but they're not quite there yet. Data says, "Hey, wait, we can swim on the holodeck. We can go create oceans on the holodeck. But what about swimming in moonlight?
One can swim in moonlight?
Yes." And then, but Worf, he don't like it too much.
Swimming is too much like bathing.
Yeah.
Or being competent at your job.
That's how I feel about hot tubs. It's
Hot
too
tubs
much
are like bathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens if you go into a hot tub though, Kevin, and then you go into the ice cold water of the pool?
What do you think happens, Dave?
You become harder than ever because you're tempered like a fine sword. Go a quench. But that's my own personal theory.
I'm
Anyway,
not
guys,
like where this is going. I'm just letting you know now.
don't worry, everybody. Hold on to your 47 references because
I'm receiving a code 47.
Code 47.
Code 47, sir.
You're using a code 47.
That's a lot of 47s.
there's a lot of 47s.
It's a lot.
Is this the?
That's a
I don't
record.
think this is the original instance of 47. I think it's already happened this season, if I'm remembering correctly.
Probably.
But I feel like this is the most overt. Let's hit you over the head with it. It's example. We're told it's like a secure channel. There will be no record of it. The computer starts citing off that this will be deleted and everything else once this conversation is over. So it's a very top secret kind of a call. And we meet this captain who we've never met before. His name is Walker Keel. We'll find out that he's the captain of a ship, an ambassador-class ship called... Sorry, what was the name of that ship?
Horatio.
The Horatio. Thank you, Jody.
I actually knew something.
It's amazing. Great.
Everybody else
couldn't-
seems to know about
I must not be the
that's
real
Walker
one."
Keel's ship. Oh, Walker Keel. Oh, Walker Keel's here.
That guy's a
kidding?
legend.
Good old Walker Keel. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
ever
Guy's a
mentioned
legend.
again, but he's apparently...
Because he's dead.
Well, he's dead, Dave.
Well, I know he's dead, but he used to be alive.
In memoriam, they never speak of him.
They speak more about Jack Crusher, who's been dead longer.
Sure.
But I guess he's Wesley's dad, so there's a reason. But we're told that Walker Keel, Jack Crusher, and Picard, good old friends. They were like thick as thieves. We'll find out that Walker Keel was the one who introduced Jack Crusher to Beverly. But before we get to that part, Walker says, "Hey, I need you to meet me on this planet. I can't tell you what it's about. We have to talk right away." And Picard's like, "Come on,
God's sake, this is a secured channel.
for God's sake, it's a secure channel." He's like, "I don't care, Picard. You owe me one. Come on, you know that."
I also want people to acknowledge how much of a prick Picard is in this episode because I love it. He's cutting people off all the time. He's telling people to just do their fucking jobs. It's great. I love it.
Picard's got the robe here. He's showing off the chest. This is not like he's not in the mood to mess around
Set
here.
a course for intercourse.
Well, yeah.
Oh, Walker Keel's a heavy actor. He's just like, tell Beverly I said hello.
No.
Just like, okay.
He looks like he's taking a crap.
My favorite also later in the episode is when the other captain, the woman captain who's infected with the parasite, she says the one thing that
Tryla Scott.
Yeah, what the one thing the two species have in common is a love for the dramatic.
Yeah.
And stunt doubles.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll get to
Oh
those.
yeah. Oh my! I got the stunt double stuff, and this is so
Stunt
funny.
doubles are fantastic.
These old early TNG episodes were not meant to be seen on high def screens.
No, they were not
No.
anticipating that.
Holy crap!
So he's like, meet me on this
I think
planet.
even the little alien had a stunt double. It didn't look like the same one crawling up his arm at the end.
Oh yeah.
You
for
mean the
sure.
stop motion claymation one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally different color than the rest of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the
pink
basically
one.
the summary here is that the Walker Keel says, Picard, meet me on this planet. Don't tell anyone you're going. Don't even tell Pacifica that you're not coming on time. And and that's it. That's our teaser for the episode. Get our credits, and we're right into it. We're on the bridge. Picard says, "How long will it take to get to this mining planet?" And he says, "I don't know, like 6 hours." He's like, "Set a course, and don't tell Pacifica we're not coming. Just
don't log it.
Don't log it. No record of this." So the crew's obviously a little bit weirded out by this. They're not quite sure what's going on, but they're going to go.
Riker's like, "Can you not see the dent in my chin? I am not happy."
Yeah.
Can't wait to cover this dent in my chin, he said.
Soon you will never see it again.
Exactly. So they're going along
Commander
here.
Denty Chin, they'll never call me after season 2.
We're going to cover that with a beard. Don't worry.
I wonder if Pulaski used that thing that they used in Orville to make the mustache. I wonder if they used that on him.
The follicle stimulator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also to make Seven's hair grow later on.
Yeah.
She's out of the Borg.
They
All
have
right, fellas,
technology.
look, that's already enough Orville references tonight.
Oh,
Laying
you
it on a
shut
little thick there, fellas. Come on.
A thick mustache.
Dial it back. Dial it back.
Yeah.
Big, thick mustache. You'll be admired by many.
So the Enterprise warps to this planet, going pretty fast, and then Data is, researching the planet. Riker's like, "What's up with this place?" Well, there's not much going on there. It's a mining planet that doesn't rotate. Half the planet's super hot, half of it's super cold, and the mining is kind of in the middle, but it's not very busy.
It's a sweet cave in the middle, though.
I love Riker asking,
Why the devil are we going to this planet?
"Why the devil are we going to this planet? It's a lifeless."
In a manner of speaking, it is nothing but a lifeless hunk of rock, a useless ball of mud, a worthless chunk of...
Thank you, Data.
Yeah. So
Everybody
right
cuts
here.
I
off
like
everybody
Data in this
episode.
one. This is one of the best ones of him actually kind of acting like Data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's good. So the Enterprise is going along. They say we're approaching the planet. There are 2 other ships here, and a third one is coming in. We're told 2 are frigates, and the third one is the Horatio. Worf's like, "They're not answering hails." He's like, I never told you to hail them. Stop hailing. There's be no communication.
Rick's ship is the Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine and the third ship. Do you remember?
Tryla Scott's ship, I can't remember off the top of my head.
I would have liked to have seen them.
She's the youngest captain in the Federation, but yet they give her a freighter.
A frigate.
No, it's a frigate.
Frigate, sorry.
Frigate's a little small ship.
I know what a
it's
frigate
not,
is.
It's not a freighter.
Yeah.
It's
just a small.
Yeah, like,
small
why would you
Warm-up
think-
ship.
like maybe no berth class or something. Is that would that be a
Maybe,
frigate?
yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I'm
their
trying to-
frigates are their isn't the what is it, the Thunderchild in that one,
Oh, that
isn't
could
a
be it.
frigate?
Yeah, I could see that being classified like that. Anyway, so Picard's beaming down by himself, and he's like, "You got the bridge, number 1. This is happening." Everyone's a little weirded out. But they're going along with this. So down on the planet, Picard beams down. I always loved this setting, this red sky, and sort of how clandestine this is. To go into this episode.
That's why we brought you
Red
down there to put you at ease
skies.
for your questioning.
Exactly. We get Captain Rix, a Bolian. I think the first Bolian we see on screen, if I'm
Could be,
correct. We of course have Captain Walker here, and Tryla Scott. Is that her name?
It
no
doesn't matter.
relation to Montgomery Scott, presumably, but who knows? And they're surrounded him with phasers. They're asking him questions. Tell us about what's going on, Picard. Mostly Walker Keel, who knows him the longest, and says, so he says, "We met in a bar, an exotic one, if I recall correctly."
The Blue Parrot Cafe.
Yeah, it was a Blue Parrot Cafe.
It's a bar. Quite an exotic one, as I remember.
So he's like, "What about my sisters?" And we also find out he's the one. Like, well, you introduced Beverly to Jack. He's like, I damn well I didn't know Beverly back then. What the hell is this all about?
What the hell is all this about?
I love Picard in this episode. He's such a dick.
Yeah, he's great.
Love him.
He formally introduces these 2 other captains. Of course, Rix, the Bolian, and Scott, the the youngest captain ever to make, or youngest officer ever to make captain.
Is she really that good?
Yes, she is.
She's got a big ego, I can tell you that.
Yeah, she does.
I had forgotten that she was the traitor. When I watched this back. So
so did I.
Yeah. What happened to Captain Ricks? Do you think he lived?
No, I think he got blown up with Walker Keel, didn't he?
Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't quite sure about that part of it. So if anyone else, if these other captains of their ships survive, other than Scott's, I guess. And they say that there's something weird going on. Starfleet officers are going funny. Haven't you noticed anything? He's like, oh, I've been on the Outer Rim for a while. I don't know what the hell's going on.
He's like, I don't trust my first officer, but my doctor says he's fine. But to be honest, I don't trust him either.
I don't trust my doctor either.
It was pretty great.
You got problems, Walker Keel, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. You got problems all around you.
Right. But they have like a little bit of a goodbye here. It will turn out to be the last time that his good old friend will talk to him. We just met him in the episode, but
tell Beverly
tell Beverly, say hello. Tell her I'm also single. And
it's like you have like communication devices. You could just like, hey Beverly, hello.
Or write her a letter. An email, whatever.
Yeah, whatever they're doing.
Whatever they're doing. But yeah, he says goodbye, and they say, Picard, watch your back.
Watch your back, Picard.
Yeah. But he's a little skeptical of all this, but because, you get
I'm amazed how clean that ramp is for a mining planet.
Yeah, especially an abandoned one.
Like, whoever cleans this place up is fantastic.
Well, that's good stuff. It's Federation. So the Enterprise.
Nice gantry they have there.
Picard goes up to Council Troy about what's happened. And, he's only confiding in her, not even in Riker yet at this point. He explains that him and Jack Crusher and Walker Keel, all great friends.
Jack Crusher, may he rest in peace, and Walker Keel. Before various missions split us up, we were virtually inseparable.
Whoa, hold on. Jack Crusher's dead?
He's dead!
They had to put that line in there? Make you rest in
peace.
Until season 3 Picard, he is.
They've only mentioned it, 7 times in this season?
At least. No Wesley in this episode.
They're trying to define it as like Picard's
Wesley's
defining
in this episode.
moment almost.
Oh, no, he's not.
Sending his best friend to die.
Yeah. She says, you're risking your career for them. You're risking everything for them. For him, more specifically. This is one of my favorite lines, though. He says, friendship must dare to risk.
Friendship must dare to risk, or it's not friendship.
Or it's not friendship.
Even if it's the lives of my entire crew.
That's why Beverly, what? Loves the
ghosts.
Loves the ghosts.
It's true.
May you rest in peace.
her and Jack Crusher never split up.
Where's a candle
strong.
when you need one?
Jack Crusher is haunting a candle right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Wesley, do not light that candle, please.
Do not light that candle.
That candle, Wesley.
Anyway, so Troy's a little confused. She's kind of advising him against this, but
Troy is confused this entire damn episode.
Yeah, hard
For
to
a
say.
for an empath, she's fucking retarded. Like
her powers
it's
are a bit selective.
Somebody's deceiving me, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's like, well, who did you read?
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Someone is hiding something, but I can't tell who or what.
Okay, thank you. I think you could also
basically you're useless. Okay, great.
I could tell that just from talking to them or listening to the conversation.
That's why Patrick Stewart ended up yelling at her, "We know that, you dumb cow!" And like, they had to
this emoji comment right here is fantastic.
Candle, ghost, heart. Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So Data says
just in time for Halloween.
We're about to head to Pacifica. He's like, we'll be there in a few hours. He's like, I got a job for you, Data. Let's put Data. So he puts Data in front of his ready room computer, and says, Data wants to look at all of the communications in all of Starfleet for like the last 6 months, maybe.
So I have a question. Does Data work like a 90s Dell PC? Like it takes a while before he starts speeding up, or like what's going on here?
He's got to ramp up.
Because literally the first like half a minute, he's like just looking at it page by page, and then all of a sudden it starts speeding. It's like, what, you got to warm up or something? Like,
yeah, well, you got to boot up.
And he must have some sort of like USB port he can just upload quicker than this. Like there's got to be something.
Well, maybe.
I do like the images though. I'm glad you caught some of them.
Some of them, yeah. Most of it's
some of them are pretty funny.
Text, but yeah, the idea is that Data is getting this knowledge very quickly. So something you think that you could even get the computer itself to do this task. But
like, doesn't he have Wi-Fi or something? Like, what does he got to do this ocularly? Makes no sense.
Well, he doesn't have those upgrades yet, Jody. So yeah, wait. Beverly then comes to the bridge while Data's busy at that, and she says to Picard, "I heard that the Horatio was here. I would love to have seen Walker Keel."
This is weird. This is so weird.
And she goes, "Nope,
her
didn't
acting
see
is
him.
weird.
Didn't see him. Don't know where he is. Sorry, couldn't help it."
Point.
Oh, that's too bad, she says.
I would have loved to have seen him.
He's like,
is this the first time you've acted? Like, this is not your best work.
Beverly, he'll be a candle in a little while. Don't worry about it.
Maybe Picard's worried that Walker Keel wants to get with Beverly, and he's still kind of going after that angle. So he's
yeah, I think everybody's going after Beverly.
This might just be like the heavy acting episode. Everybody's pouring it on.
Hey, that's all right.
So they thought they were in a finale too.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Worf detects something from in the distance of space. It's a kind of an unusual thing. They can't tell what it is, so they set a course to go investigate it. And after a little bit of travel, they arrive to discover basically a debris field. They don't quite know what it is, but eventually they figure out it's a destroyed starship. And then they're not too far from where that meeting took place. They kind of make the determination that it could only be the Horatio. It could only be Walker Keel's ship that's been destroyed. And then there's sort of this revelation that they're gone and that this conspiracy is more than we thought. Maybe this episode made them get even more surly doctor than Bones for next season.
That was awful. So, we can't go back to that. We need a new doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a shit poor choice that was.
So, the starship has been destroyed. There's now a mystery. What is going on? Let's dig more into this. So after a little time jump, Picard then decides, okay, I'm going to tell Riker everything about what I know so far. Riker a bit skeptical. He's not super into it.
Personally, I don't believe this conspiracy theory.
You hear that, Jeff? He's not down with these conspiracy theories, but Data's going through the data, ironically, and he's made the determination here that and then Data's talking to himself, and the computer says, "What was that?" He goes, "Oh, I was simply talking to myself."
That was not a request. I was simply talking to myself. A human idiosyncrasy, triggered by a fascination with a particular set of facts, or sometimes brought about by senility, or used as a means of weighing information before reaching a conclusion, or as
Thank you, sir. I comprehend.
Riker be a pro-government kind of guy. Yeah, that's true.
even Barrett's like, I've had enough of you.
Oh yeah, even Major Barrett's like, enough. But yeah, it's
enough,
funny.
Data. You're done.
I think that's maybe the funniest thing in this episode is just.
Oh no, there's way more funnier stuff than that.
Oh, well, hold on, we'll get to it. And then so Data he's kind of concluded what he's doing. He comes to talk to Riker and to Picard, and he's like, "Well, yeah, there's some weird stuff going on. Like everyone's been reassigned and moved around to strategic positions, and it's a little subtle, but it's definitely happening. We get some visuals here on the screen. Not really sure what they mean, but it doesn't look good. There's red stuff.
A clandestine attempt to control vital sectors."
Yes, but I'm not quite sure why this visual is supposed to paint that picture for me. But, that's okay. And so they're getting into it, and Data says the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
Starfleet's left hand did not know what its right hand was doing.
There's definitely something here. And Picard says, this is a conspiracy at the very heart of Starfleet. This is something we have to do. We have to get answers. Let's go home and ask. So the Enterprise
that was the scene that they purposely put in so they could use it for the promo for next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I used to love those promos that they would show. Like this next week on Star Trek: The Next Generation, and then they would do all.
Yeah, that's how they would have ended it. They would have ended it with that scene.
Yeah, that's true. It probably is if I watched this particular episode version of that. Anyway, the Enterprise heads to Earth, and they're not getting any response from Starfleet Command. Its lieutenant was jerking off its right hand.
You don't want to know what that third hand in the middle of the Dojin hand was doing.
I don't know if had we seen Earth yet this season? Had they been back to Earth at any point? I can't recall.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It was kind of neat.
And based on that screenshot, they're still not at Earth.
No, they're at the moon technically.
They're by the moon.
Yeah. So Picard finally, I think, gets a response, and we get our panel of Badmirals, including Admiral Quinn, who we met, of course, back a few episodes ago. When what was that one called? Coming of Age. Where Wesley was taking the test to get into the academy. He didn't.
Because he sucks.
So they're saying, why are you here, Captain? You're supposed to be at Pacifica. He's like, well, I thought I'd come home and tell you some stuff. Talk to you. We see Commander Reddick. What's his name? Reddick. The guy, the other guy from Coming of Age. And he says something in the Admiral's ear, the Vulcan Admiral's ear. And so the one who played Chakotay's dad, but coincidentally in Voyager.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, we're gonna have a little conference. We'll call you right back. And then I was like, this is weird. Hey, what do you think, Troy? I can't tell. There's something weird going on. He's like, yeah, thanks. Okay. And then Worf's like, you can't trust them. You can't trust them. And then that's when they turn back on the
Worf
screen.
an empath?
Yeah.
Worf. Oh my God, he's so fucking terrible.
Worf has more insight than Troy.
I know, which is sad. Oh, here he goes. Is he gonna go get the Worf thing so he can talk to me with his toy again?
Exactly.
Anyway,
so they say, come on down for dinner, you and your first officer. We'll talk all about it. Sound good? Sounds good. All right. So
okay, so let's just quickly address something here. Picard's supposed to be down at the conference in 20 minutes, I think.
That's true. They'd say 20 minutes.
20 minutes, but he has time to see the Admiral, talk to the Admiral, and show him around part of the ship in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like either Picard was late or he did that stuff very quickly. But yeah, so they go to meet Admiral Quinn in the transporter room. Kuchimoya, that's right.
Kuchimoya.
From the bones of my admiral father. We get some shots of Starfleet headquarters. Of course, this is, I don't know, well, maybe it's not obvious, but I'll point it out here, is that this is stock footage from Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. Yep. But I think the only thing that's different about it is they've replaced that Federation logo with the more modern version on the building.
Yeah, it is a slightly different version.
Because the one in the movie, I think, was the older kind of style.
Like
slightly different, but yeah, you can even see some like of the Monster Maroon style uniforms here, but they're hard to make out. So it's a pretty good use of stock.
Again, it would have been fine on TV.
Yeah, it was fine on TV. It's still fine. But if you're looking closely, you can pick these things up. Anyway, then we see some feet walking along here. A guy with a case, clearly an admiral. What's going on here? The case opens up, and we see a big pink bug thing. Big pink cockroach. I don't know.
Now, did anybody else notice that this was pretty well done, but yet we get gradually worse with these things as they progress?
There's quite a
because it's moving around and stuff.
Are you talking about like the special effects of it?
Yeah.
It's not like when they move around, it's kind of like, I don't know if it's stop motion or CGI or it's probably stop motion, but a gummy bear.
He brought a big weed gummy.
Exactly.
It's an edible.
This is kind of one of the first of a few misdirects that they do in this episode, where we see that he closes the case and we see this lieutenant commander walk up behind him, but I guess we're not really sure if Remick.
We don't know that he knows anything. Yeah.
That he knows anything.
We think he's not pervious.
He might not know, or we're certainly not led to believe he's hosting the mother parasite or like the beast inside at this point.
Spoilers.
I know. So Quinn gets beamed up to the ship, but he's got that sinister look on his face that only somebody infected with a bug would do. So he beams up to talk to Picard and Riker. They're like, last time we saw you, you said you were getting tired. He's like, I was tired of life, but now I'm cool. Everything's great.
He's like, you said there was something horrible at the heart of the Federation. He's just like, I was just talking about immigrants.
Either that or those Admiral uniforms.
Right. He's like,
what is this? What is this episode?
If I gave you that impression, I'm so sorry. No, forget about it.
Where's that Wesley kid?
It's sad that even in a post scarcity society, we're still blaming immigrants for everything.
Well, that confirms it. The United Federation of Planets is really just the U.S.
What was that comment about the uniform?
Yep.
Those Admiral films are gay in a good way. I don't know if they're gay.
Admiral Quinn doesn't like to talk about his flair.
I guess they have the flair.
That's a lot of flair.
True, but I don't mind this Admiral's uniform variant. There's others I dislike way more.
It's even got the gold cuffs and everything.
Yeah,
it's ugly.
It
looks like an abstract painting from the 80s.
Well, I think all the uniforms are in this style. Like they all got that weird pattern. Anyway, so Picard is saying, okay, Riker will show you around and take you about, and I'm going to head down to meet the other admirals. And he's like, okay, see you in a bit. And then Picard grabs Riker. He goes, yeah, let's talk.
Look at that man in the background there.
The man in the scant,
Man in the scant.
It looks good. Or not.
That guy's been working out.
You want to talk about looks good in a gay way? There you go.
Could blow your head, Dave.
Have a look at that.
Yeah. Davan, would you want to rock the scant?
Well, I have much hairier legs than this fella right here.
He didn't miss leg day. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I heard Tiffany there. Anyway, so
yeah, it's like a parenting nightmare. I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem. Okay. So I think it was about Edith potty training. I think that's currently what's going on. Talk about turbo lifting.
That's a good one.
We got some good jokes here in the comments today.
Yeah, we got some live comments going on.
So Picard says to Riker, "That's not Quinn. He might look like Quinn, he might sound like Quinn, but that ain't Quinn. There was something definitely weird there." Anyway, so get Beverly to give him a medical evaluation. I don't care how you do it. He's like, he's an admiral. He's like, figure it out.
This is one of the greater lines in this episode because Picard's just like, can you just shut up with your problems and get it done?
Yeah, stop bringing me problems.
Yeah, this isn't my problem. This is your problem now. Fuck off.
See ya.
Just, I don't care. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yes, he's having daddy moments right now.
So Picard beams down to see the admirals. Does the whole Vulcan salute with this Vulcan admiral, which is a nice.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
I think that's fine.
And of course, he kind of says hello to Remick.
Okay, so this should have been a dead giveaway right here because he's smiling.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Nice to see you. And Picard's like, yeah, nice to see
you. He's like, yeah, fuck off.
I remember your Inquisition.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Picard is going around with the admirals, back on the Enterprise. Quinn in his quarters here. Riker comes to say hello. He's like, hey, what's up with the case? He's like, oh, we got a little fun thing in the case. It was for the doctor, but maybe it's for you.
So let's think about this for a second. You have a first officer who's walking into the quarters of an admiral.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing he says out of his mouth basically is, what's in the case?
What's in the
A,
box?
None of your fucking business. And B, why are you asking that of the admiral?
Well, but he already knows that this is not the admiral.
Well, that's true. Yeah, okay.
So he's going to be a little more forward, I think, than he might otherwise be. Anyway, so then he's like, I think this bug thing should be for you, Riker. And he grabs Riker's wrist, and then this look here from
vitamins.
Vitamins. They do wonders for the body. as he like throws Riker across the room here, or the
no. His stunt double with a wig throws Riker across the thing.
Yeah,
and that clearly ain't Riker.
And it's clearly not whoever plays the Admiral Quinn it's not him either.
Oh my God, Quinn, spin kick Quinn. I got here just in time.
Spin kick Quinn is the best.
When Jody said there's funnier stuff coming, I'm like, oh yeah, spin kick Quinn. Like I roll on the floor. Like,
yeah.
I also
look at this guy. He looks nothing like Quinn. This stunt double is hilarious.
These are the. I have some shots that come more in the fight with Worf later. That it's even more obvious. But
you and me now, Klingon.
I love that one too.
Okay, well, we see here that he throws Riker across the table, then he calls like security, but he doesn't say what is happening. He doesn't say like I'm being attacked by Admiral Quinn.
Security to guest quarters or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
So the high kicks. Oh,
the high kicks. That's the Riker maneuver right there. You know, I don't know who knew he could do this. He learned that in Ambujitsu. I think. Dang, straight kick. But Quinn is unaffected. He even being an old man,
he just laughs in the face.
He's beating up this stunt double like he doesn't matter to him at all. And eventually throws him through the table,
through the glass. It's amazing. Yeah. This is the greatest scene in this season. Quinn just looking over him, all like cocky here. So Riker on the ground. Like that's the moment he could have theoretically infected Riker, I guess, right? And so,
everybody's standing in the exact same spot they were earlier.
Yeah. And then because they never, I don't. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I just realized something that's a little weirder. Anyway, the Picard's down on the planet with these admirals. They're having Andorian tea, I think, is what we're told this is.
Out of shot glass with stems on them.
Yeah, I was like, is this an alcoholic beverage or just like just a normal tea?
I get the impression it is an alcoholic beverage, but
it's like
they don't actually say it.
It's like a Long Island iced tea, perhaps.
Yeah,
from Andoria. And anyway, they're
I do like how the subtlety here I thought was great. Was Picard kind of questioning whether he should drink it, and then everybody's looking at him like, "Oh, wait a second, he might be onto something."
Yeah, well, we'll find out that they already know that he kind of is onto them. But he says, they say a toast to the Horatio. He's like, yeah, the Horatio. That's what I wanted to talk about. Any idea? They're like, oh yeah, negligence of the captain, complete incompetence. And they're like, that's pretty obvious, huh? He's like, oh yeah.
He's my best friend, and we had a three-way with
definitely
with Crusher. Come on.
I wouldn't take a sip of this tea if I were him in this scenario. I think that it's
He's like, are they trying to like get me drunk so like I can have? See now we got the kids in. Now I gotta behave.
Hey,
he's fine.
Are you going to the potty?
Are you going to the potty?
Yeah, hence the arguments. I think.
This episode's going to the potty.
Yep. This episode is in the potty. No, we'll see. We'll see.
Sam says, hi, Edith.
Then we get there's some good running in this episode. Guys, I always like some good running. Jody and Worf running down here. I guess this is the security attachment that is
good running.
That has no actual security officers involved.
And that is
the security attachment is the guy from Roots who does Reading Rainbow. And Worf, the most incompetent security person in the world.
The best ever.
Yeah. This is hardcore.
They show up to the room and they go, "What happened to Riker?" He's like, "He just fell over. So weird, And then they're saying, like, shouldn't we wait for the doctor to get here before?
Jeff's right. This episode should be called Leg Day.
Leg Day.
Then Admiral Quinn throws Jody just for questioning him through the door. But it doesn't like automatically open, which you'd hope it would in that kind of situation. But nope, it gets knocked down and Jody gets thrown to the crowd here.
So Candace was watching this with me and she goes, why do they have wood doors on a metal ship? And I'm like, I don't think it was supposed to look like wood doors.
Yeah, maybe not.
I also do. Can you go back one?
Yeah.
I absolutely love the wallpaper. The wallpaper is fantastic.
Oh yeah, Marriott.
It reminds me of
the Marriott. I was about to say that.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Marriott, or it reminds me of those cups the generic cups that you get for like fountain pop from like every like generic store.
I'm always like confused by these windows with blinds that don't have a window on the other side.
Jeff makes a good point. Why is there wallpaper?
It's decorative, Jeff.
This episode is
This episode,
the aesthetic in this season is just
I love
weird.
this episode.
Yeah.
It's the 80s.
so
We didn't
terrible.
know, guys. Come on.
We didn't know any better. This was 89. Or, no,
88.
88.
Yeah. Anyway, so then Quinn's like, come on, Klingon, just you and me. And he's like, let's go. And so we got a little fight here between Worf and Quinn, or Quinn's stunt double, more specifically.
I don't know what fight you saw, because there was no fight here. This was just fucking Klingons getting his ass whooped.
Worf getting beat up, yeah. He's like, do humans fear, or Klingons fear death as much as humans? I'll show you. And then he throws Worf.
Yeah, he goes, and Quinn's just like, no, I'll show you the wall.
Yeah, throws him across the room. Worf out for the count. But just then, who saves the day? Dr. Crusher, who phasers Quinn quite a bit.
That's what makes this episode amazing.
Yeah, I'm really like I was always a little surprised by the sloppiness of this bug-infested Quinn, because he's like, does he not think he's going to eventually be overpowered by this ship?
And it was meant for Crusher, so why did he just like throw away his plan just because Crusher happened to, or Riker happened to
ask him about the case? Yeah,
he didn't even ask him about it, really. I mean, he did because he was like fondling it. But if he had just like left it alone, Riker wouldn't have been like, "Hey, what's with that case on the table over there?"
He could have made up an excuse that
But based on this scene, we only know that there's one person on this ship that's competent, and that is Beverly Crusher.
Well, yeah.
Because she's like, I'm not going to try to fight this guy. I'm just going to shoot his ass.
Well, and like we don't see Data much after this, or after that conference earlier, right? Like he's there at the end.
Not much, no.
He'd be in command of the ship at this point.
Well, he is in. He is in command, because when Picard leaves the bridge, he says he's in command.
Yeah. So even though Beverly phasers the Admiral quite a bit, he's he's not dead. He's just stunned. Even though it's on kill. And then she examines Riker here, and they're like, what the hell is going on? What is he? Let's find out. We have a cunt over here to sickbay, where Beverly says, I checked his retinal scan, and it is Quinn. And he goes, how could that be? He threw me like a rag doll. Then
these like gills they have too, like it's the whole thing is kind of stupid because those are super noticeable.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like
also,
that.
She does her internal scan, but didn't find any of the parasite inside.
Not only that,
but this episode's kind of awful.
So she does a scan, but on top of that, the transporter does a scan as well, and nothing caught it. And on top of that, I would also like to reiterate what Candace said about this. She says, why does he have an ear penis? That's a good
question.
More
like a nipple. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what nipples you're playing with, but I haven't seen anything like that.
Back down on the planet, Picard finishing up his tea. They say they call him to dinner, but then he gets a call from the doctor. He says, she's like, is this a secure channel? He's like, yeah, sure. I'll just kind of go over here. What's up? Well, Admiral Quinn is infected with a big old parasite. It's in his brain. We got this little kind of 3D scan here. And we see
which I thought was cool.
Yeah,
my initial 40 scans didn't see it, but now it seems
now
obvious.
I can see it clear as day.
Now that I know where to look, I know it's there. So we see that it's right in the back base of his skull, basically.
I take it back. Beverly Crusher isn't competent in this episode.
And we're told, I guess they breathe air through that little gill that comes out the back there. So that's their own thing. Otherwise,
it's one of the things they do out of that orifice.
It's one.
Didn't they just use the mouth?
Well, yeah. So then they say, well, if any of these people are infected with the things, make sure your phaser is on kill because stun has no effect. He's like, yeah, you don't necessarily go around Starfleet headquarters armed and ready to shoot, but hey, thanks. She's like, well,
and he says that he's because earlier when Riker and him were in the transporter bay, he's like, you're not going, down with weapons. He goes, no. And it's like, so where did he get the phaser?
I don't know.
Riker comes down after.
He picks it up after from.
No, Riker came down with something. Yeah, did he pick it up
Riker
from
brought
somewhere?
a phaser, but Picard gets a phaser off one of the other guys.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'll point that out when we get to it. Anyway, so there's this whole moment here too where Beverly's up on the ship. She's working on Quinn. She's by herself, and we kind of get this like
when's this guy gonna turn into a ghost?
Yeah, and then Riker, I guess he decided to wake up, or he woke up, and then he decided to walk across the room and not announce it. He just is like, hey.
He's like, oh, hi.
I knew it was Halloween, and I wanted to scare you. So
reminds me of that episode where everybody's dead on the table, and Beverly's like going insane.
Yeah. So we don't know what's going on there with Riker. It's one of the other misdirects in the episode. Picard shows up for dinner. His dinner.
This is the most stupid dinner table I've ever seen.
Well, it's a little spread out, kind of in 3 sections, 2 tiers a section. His dinner was getting cold, everybody. So he's like, okay, let's get into it, and it's a bowl full of maggots,
mealworms.
Mealworms, yeah. And Picard does not like mealworms. That's not his food. He's more of a croissant and coffee kind of guy, really. Maybe not for dinner, but
Shazam Worf down.
Worf might have liked this, or if they had any Ferengi, they would be down with this. But no, not so much. And so there's kind of this whole thing here. And then this admiral's so excited for his mealworms.
See, this scene's weird too because they're acting like they think he's one of them, but also they're acting like they don't think he's one of them. So it's like it's all very confusing. The writing in this is very confusing.
I don't think that they think he's one of them. I think that they're messing
Of course they do, or why would they give him what?
Because they're big fans of drama.
Yeah,
they're setting the scene.
Right. Yeah, they're doing this just to mess with them. They're like, you think you're onto us, we're onto you. Let's eat some worms. Even this random security guy gets he gets his bowl of worms. The vegetarian Vulcan is going to town on this. And they're all enjoying it. Picard, this is not like Picard's whole face throughout the rest of this is like, ugh. Just disgust. Well, Picard doesn't like it. He's pushing the dinner around. He's trying to walk away. He's like, "Can I get out of here? Can I get out of here?" And then all of a sudden, Riker's here. He's like, "Oh, great, Riker." He's like, "Oh, now you're done, Picard. Soon you will be one of us." They're like, "What?
One of us."
They examine Riker's neck, and he has a little nipple, although it looks different than Admiral Quinn's does, quite frankly.
Awful, actually.
Come on,
That's
it's
really
cold
bad.
there, Dave.
Yeah.
It's just cold. Don't worry about
shrinkage, I guess.
Yeah.
A
little bit shrinkage. It's okay.
But we're told that he was meant for the Doctor, or this one was meant for the Doctor. Couldn't be helped. Riker came in, and they said, "Well, great." Then we get the reveal of Captain
The
Scott.
aliens recognize that tail. Actually, they're like, "Oh, you have Gimpy."
He's always been a little small.
We see Captain Scott as the traitor who revealed, told them what was going on with Walker Keel and the rest, and that was the thing. She kind of says, "This is a great partnership. We're the brains and you're the brawn. Your bodies will help us move around and do whatever the hell these guys do." She starts eating the bugs and the mealworms. Anyway, so then they're like, "Go ahead, Riker, enjoy your new body." He's like, "Oh, I will. He's ready to eat some worms. He's ready to eat. Oh, Picard's like, "You're not going to eat those worms, are you?" "I taught you better than that, Riker." And he's about to get in, but just...
Look at Jonathan Frakes acting.
Listen, there isn't even any butter sauce.
Like he's never going to get another job ever in his life. He's been covered in toner, and now he's going to eat these bugs.
He's committed. I listened to an interview today with Frakes and Katie Sackhoff where he's like, they were paying us 40% of SAG rate, like they had the numbers all figured out. Like they were committed to this job, considering. And then Riker grabs his phaser. I love how the commitment to keeping the mealworms in his hand throughout all of this. He doesn't ever try to drop them. He's very committed to that. And he phasers that guy across the room. When Captain Scott's about to try to phaser Riker, then this is where Picard gets involved, and he kind of resurrects her. I'm not sure how, because aren't they supposed to be super strong? But he's somehow able to
they're not Picard strong, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might be strong, but they're not the main character.
Right.
They're not the captain.
Yeah. So, because he just does like one of these right to her, right? He just gives her like a
Look at her face too. She's just like, what?
Yeah. And then Riker's like, I got one left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. Left hand's got the mealworms, right hand's got the phaser. Captain
Look
Scott.
at those lights. Those lights in the background are crazy.
Those are some fancy lights.
Those are cool lights.
Woo! Look at him go.
That other admiral decides to run out of the room. We see that this one bug comes out.
Look at that stunt double run.
Look at that
Leg
bug.
day.
Look
at that bug, Edith.
Look at that bug, exactly.
Yeah, it's coming out of her mouth.
It's a big bug.
Then Admiral Vulcan guy here, he tries to nerve pinch Riker, but I guess he's not very good at it.
This is the slowest nerve pinch ever.
Yeah, and Riker's just like, ow, that hurts.
That hurts.
I guess he doesn't know how to do it.
Or because we know that their memory isn't quite right, so he kind of knows how to do it, but not really. I guess. And then this is where Picard gets the phaser. He takes it off of Buddy there.
Look at that pose, eh?
Oh yeah, that's a superhero phaser pose right there.
That's a phaser pose of phaser poses.
So then Riker and Picard start chasing after that one Admiral guy. Like I said, more running, lots of running.
Lots of running.
Yeah. Anyway, and they're like, "Hey, Admiral!" He's like, "What phaser?" And Picard's just like,
"Hey,
I just move."
Look at that chair, man. Look at that chair.
This dodging, and it's so good. Like Picard acts the dodge way before the
best thing is Riker instead of dodging looks at it.
Yeah.
He kind of walks towards it a little. He's like,
a little bit. He's like, I don't care.
I've never heard of an explosion.
Because the other guy doesn't try to shoot back. He just keeps trying to run away.
Tell me you got the frames after this.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes. Right in the ass. I love that.
Yeah. We see the bug come out of his mouth, and then
you get shot in the ass. You don't want to be in there anymore.
It goes into this other room, where it then goes on to...
This is stellar cartography.
Yeah, Commander Remick here, looking at a map of the quadrant or something, and they're like, "Hey, Remick, there's a bug on you." He's like, "What?"
Phased on each butt cheek.
Yeah. Yep. I like how he's also in this evil emperor-esque chair. Or is this like
I think that's the chair, the handy capable chairs
that Admiral Jameson had that cost them $10,000.
Yeah, $10,000 chair that doesn't work.
Yeah.
This is where the hands jerk each other off. This is what this chair is for.
Yeah, you can see he's got
this is a hand jerking chair.
He's got one hand on each arm. It's that's how it goes here.
Starfleet's left hand did not know what its right hand was doing.
Right.
Oh no, that time it did.
Then they're like, "Hey, Remick, the bug."
So,
he's like,
so hold on a second though. They watch this bug crawl up him, and neither one of them are like, "Oh, we're not going to do anything about it. We're just going to wait."
They don't like Remick, remember?
Well, Riker's about to phaser, and then Picard says, "Wait."
Yeah, Picard's like, "No,
we need
hold on
to
until
see
we
this.
can blow him completely up."
Yeah, we did.
I want to be able to like make his head explode.
Yeah, I think
we definitely all needed to see this.
I think this is like stop motion. Like I think
Oh,
that's
yeah,
how
stop
they
for
achieve
sure.
this. And it looks dated, of course, but because it's not the best. But I'll let go.
It
was the
didn't even
80s.
look good at the time.
Didn't even look good at the time, but they had a limited budget. And then he just like swallows this thing, and they're like, he's like, yummy. We see the tiny chamber. We see that, like, I think the special effects with his neck.
I love his neck though. His neck looks amazing.
That looks cool. I think that
Eating the bug look cool too. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
This is chef's kiss.
Picard's like, ugh. No good. Yeah, the neck going there. And he's like, we seek peaceful coexistence. They're like, yeah? No.
Really? Okay. No.
Yeah, this is like
they just did it like Pulp Fiction before.
I just
Pulp
like
Fiction
the look.
did.
Yeah, it's like Pulp Fiction. Yeah, exactly. Before Pulp Fiction.
I'm wondering if Tarantino got it from that.
I wonder.
Because he's a big Star Trek guy, right?
He is a big Star Trek guy. That's true.
Yeah.
And then they just start phasering Revik pretty hard here.
They don't get him in the ass though.
They're phasering him right in the face.
Yeah, look at the I guess that's Riker's phaser.
Oh my
That-
gosh.
that is
Oh
personal.
boy!
Oh my.
Oh
Yeah.
Looks like that
Oh,
guy
my.
from. Looks like that guy from Indiana
That's
Jones.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's a legit reaction right there.
This is the action right there.
Yeah. Are you copying me?
What a
He's already better than you, Davan.
Yeah. Then his
I
head,
know.
his head explodes into a.
Oh, look at all them! Look at all them chunks.
my gosh.
I know.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right
I
on
agree
there.
with
you.
that.
That's something, isn't it?
Out of the mouth of babes, as they say.
Woo.
He's right. So cool.
Mhm.
And Picard's look here at the end. He's like, even after that, because then it starts
Picard,
burrowing
yeah.
out of his chest. This was a nice little
What's
touch.
happening now?
What's
I like
happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? Oh, there's a monster.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
What is that? Yeah.
That's my wife before coffee.
And it makes like.
Oh,
these
my.
screeches, too.
Jody's on the couch tonight.
Picard's look here too. where-
He's like, the coach has better lumbar
Oh,
support. I'm
my.
fine. I'm fine with that.
What is that thing right there?
It's not like she watches this anyway.
Yeah, well, she's a little bit. So
Oh,
they
my.
they phaser this thing pretty much until it vaporizes.
I love
their-
it. But look at the background
my.
part of this. Like, I think the monster isn't as impressive as
the
the
dead body.
the burnt
body, yeah.
skeleton behind it.
Yeah, no, it's true. I never seen like a phaser do that to like anybody, right? Like either you get vaporized or they just die. But
Well, that's when you're on a discount setting.
I
It's
guess
not
so.
when you're on full tilt. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like the mid-range one. That's like, I think they call that one turkey dinner. I'm not
Nice.
totally sure.
No, it's never used turkey dinner setting on the phaser, until this thing just kind of finally dies.
You got to give that thing credit though. It took a lot of phase before it died.
Sure did. Yeah, and we even see like I guess all the
That's
little dead
amazing.
bugs.
Oh, I said that.
Yeah, they fell out of his ribcage.
Yeah. There's all these little dead bugs at his feet too. I guess that fell out of the chest.
Oh my.
Yeah, he was a colony in there.
it
Is
was a-
that just that?
Yeah, that guy had a rough day. But
That guy had a rough day.
Oh my.
but apparently, so they said they couldn't remove the parasite while the mother creature was alive. But now that the mother creature, yep. Thanks. Now that the mother creature is alive, the Admiral Quinn's, I guess, just died, and anybody else infected with these things, you know. So
I believe Dr. Crusher has to take his temperature.
That thing.
And then Riker's like, so we had to fool even you, Captain, that I was infected. I was got the parasite in me. He's like, I figured that out, number one, pretty good. I don't know why they had like.
He's like, you know, though, Captain, I think I'm going to keep the neck nipple. I kind of like it. Gives me something.
Well, you gotta
it's
remember
like a
in
fidget
season-
spinner.
In season 1, they used to do the same thing that they did in the original series, which was basically to all sit around and laugh at the end, basically. Like they did that all through season 1.
It's all what they used to do in the original series. Most of those episodes ended like that, right? So they were trying to like still stay with that theme here. Then Data shows up with the grim news. He's like, so that guy was Remick was sending a some kind of a message to an unknown part of space, and they're like, well, what was it? He's like, it was a homing beacon. Oh, that's all.
Yeah, the best way to end an episode, but yet we never see any sort of follow up at all.
There's still time. They could. I wouldn't mind some kind of a sequel to this episode in some form. But
Sure.
yeah, you know, I think that there's more to this.
That's what they should have did with Picard season 3.
Or
should have all been a big conspiracy.
100%.
100.
Yeah, that could have been fun.
100%.
But so there's kind of like this ominous ending here. The Enterprise is kind of going along, and then we just kind of zoom in on space here as
the sound is great though.
The sound is great. I guess it meant to be like maybe that threat's coming, right? I think eventually the Borg come along and other things come along, and they're like, we don't need to go back to this story, so they never do. But
Sam's right. It was originally written to be.
It was supposed to be a triology.
A triology. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Never
Jody,
happened,
would you mind hitting us with some fun facts?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you. We appreciate that, Jody.
Close-up shots of the Starfleet headquarters banquet were live mealworms. The actors actually ate chow mein. So that was impressive.
They should have made the method and made them eat real ones.
That would have been better. Especially if they're only getting, what, 40% of SAG pay?
Yeah, especially.
And Dave was correct. This is the first episode of Abolian, the blue-skinned race from the Star Trek veteran director Cliff Bole. That's why they're called Bolians.
Because okay, because Cliff Bole.
Cliff Bole.
I never put that together. Okay.
I didn't until just now. So there you go. Michael Bierman, the person who played Captain Ricks, also the Bolian, enjoyed his Bolian makeup so much he wore it home after the scenes wrapped filming.
His wife likes Bolians.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of weird, freaky stuff they did that night. But anyway, Jonathan Frakes states that during the dinner scene, Mealworms did cross his lips.
Toner in the mouth, mealworms, he'll do it all.
Yeah. This episode contains the first mention of an Ambassador class starship. The Horatio was a member of this class, as was the Enterprise C.
Right. So I guess we can imagine what the Horatio looked like before they blew it to bits.
Yeah. Oh, here's one for Davan. The desk in Admiral Quinn's guest quarters aboard the Enterprise D is later seen as the desk of Benjamin Sisko in Starfleet headquarters in Homefront from 1996 and Paradise Lost from 1996.
That was a good desk. They gave him a good desk.
That's a good desk for sure. The chair in which Remick is seated is a redress of the wheelchair used by Admiral Mark Jamieson.
We spent $10,000 on this wheelchair that doesn't work.
Yeah, they probably used it 20 times from here. Michael Berryman, which is the person who played Ricks, previously appeared as an alien Starfleet officer in Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. There you go.
Oh, I think I know which one he is. Yeah.
Yeah. This episode won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Makeup in a Series. There you go.
Oh, probably because of that neck stuff. On
Deserved.
Yeah. And another thing that I think Dave was the one who brought up. This is the first episode of the series to feature Earth and Luna.
Yeah. Like, I think in retrospect, I would have loved, like, if they'd done something to make the moon look more populated or something, you know, but it's
So the doors at the headquarters for the dinner, where the dinner is served, is later used in season 2 onwards on the set of 10 Forward.
Right, because we don't have 10 Forward in this season at all, do we?
Nope, no 10 Forward
Not at all.
It's weird.
That happens in the second season. And actually, we see 10 Forward. The first time we see 10 Forward is actually when the Doctor comes up on the ship, because she goes right to 10 Forward instead of checking in with the.
Oh, you mean Pulaski?
With the captain.
Yeah,
Pulaski. Yeah, Pulaski.
And I think they built that set partly because they knew Whoopi Goldberg was coming onto the show, and they needed.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They needed to have some sort of set for her. Ward Costello and Robert Sharenkin reprised their roles from Coming of Age, which is 1998 or 1988, excuse me.
Yeah, I appreciate what they were trying to do here by like setting up those characters and then paying this off a couple episodes later. Like, I know by today's standards this is nothing major, but.
And of course, as Dave stated earlier, the 47 reference in this episode is Code 47, which is the Starfleet emergency frequency for Captain's Eyes Only.
Code 47, sir.
Code 47, sir. The director of this episode, Chris Bull, was a friend of makeup supervisor Michael Westmore.
Cliff Bull.
So the guy who won the award for makeup was the friend of the person who directed this episode.
They were friends in high school? Cliff Bull and Michael Westmore?
Yeah.
What they say? Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
The opening credits of this episode include Dennis Crosby's character, Natasha Yar, who was killed off and didn't appear regularly after Skin of Evil. So there you go.
What happened with her in this? Sorry, I didn't.
She was still in the credits.
Oh.
She was still in the opening credits, even though she wasn't on the show anymore. And due to the, we'll end with this one, I think. Due to the very graphic violence that happens in this episode, the station which aired the show received complaints about the airing of such graphic violence. The only episode aside from this which had graphic violence included The Mind's Eye from 1991, Chain of Command Part 2, which is 1992, and Phantasms, 1993. Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager also had many episodes with scenes with graphic, with the stations airing DS9 on UPN, airing Voyager, respectively, got complaint from its parents as well. So this was one of the complainy episodes.
Let them complain, I say.
Let them complain. This is a fantastic episode.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out just how fantastic we all think it is. Let's throw our ratings down. I'm going to Davan first because he kept saying how much he doesn't like this episode. So I'm going to.
Did I say that? I just said there's many things in it that's awful.
Well, that would imply you don't like
There's
it.
a lot of things that are awful in this episode.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things that are super awful in this, but at the same time, it's still my favorite of the season because the problem with season 1 is most of these episodes just aren't very interesting or are really slow and kind
As
of
you've
boring.
told me over and over.
Well,
and
it's
over.
true. But when there's a good episode, my rating's always the highest. But like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat bad episodes. It's a disrespect to the good ones. So like, I like this one. It's fun, and it's like it has a legendary ending just because like nothing was ever made of it. It's almost like in so bad it's good territory, like because it is well paced, so it's enjoyable.
We're gonna get a number sometime soon, or what are we doing here?
What, we never get to say what we thought of this episode now? We don't do it at the start. We don't do it at the end. We just don't talk about the episode anymore. We tell everyone the scenes that they've all seen anyway. We give it a number and we go home. Is that what we're doing here?
That's what we're doing.
Fascinating.
I'm just bugging you.
I'm going to give this one an 8.
All right. Thank you. Kevin.
I give Davin's tirade there a 10. That was perfect.
Me too.
Thank you.
It was good.
I like this episode. I'd give it a 9. It's a season 1 9 though. Like,
yeah,
season
1 8.
Yeah, like
a season 1 9
good,
and the rest
but
of the series 5. But anyway,
it's still a show trying to figure itself out.
Absolutely.
And this is really good.
Yeah, Jody.
I don't do this very often, gentlemen. I'm giving this a 10. This is the peak.
You're
of
insane.
awesomeness. This is amazing. I love this episode.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna precursor that with a season 110, which is about a 6 normally. So
I'll tell you.
No. In all seriousness, I'm not giving it a 10, Dave. I'm gonna go with Davan. It's an 8. It's damn enjoyable.
Coward. All right.
For the wrong reasons.
There we go. All right. I'm doing it. 10.
What?
I'm throwing it down there. I like this episode in any season. I'm telling you right now. Like, it doesn't matter.
No, if I got this episode in season 5,
I knew this was
it'd
coming.
be a 0.
Oh, if this was a season 5
I knew this
episode,
was coming.
Sam's with me. Sam.
All right, look, we're going back to Ditalics B for intervention. Here, hold on.
No, you must dare to risk.
Friendship must
we're
dare
back.
to risk.
Me and Dave are on the same page. Yes, that's right, Sam. You have it. So we are averaging an 8.8. So that has to be the highest of the season so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm the true hero tonight. What's that comment?
The Stunt Devils were very obvious, however, story-wise and content, it was good in my opinion.
I might be willing
I
to
wanted
take
to
off
know more about the bugs.
I might take off like a fraction of a point for like the stunt double shit, but like other than that,
No, it adds to it. It's amazing.
yeah,
I love
it's at least a 9.9 or 9.8. So I'm rounding up to 10. There's nothing about this I dislike, and I find the thing was exciting all the way through. I think what they did
Dude, this checks off all the boxes. This has got action. This has got suspense. This has got terrible fighting. This has Troy not knowing how to do anything again. We got Worf getting his ass whooped for the first or many times past this. This is great.
Crusher saving the day. I think that this episode is
solid.
Great. And I think what's actually amazing what they accomplish in just like this 45 minutes, like how much suspense and action and stuff happens, and like.
Yeah, I always think of this as a 2-parter, and it's not.
It's not, but it feels like one.
What do you give this episode out of 10? 1, 2, 3, 10, 8, 7?
Yes.
Yes.
She says
all of them.
All of the numbers together. So
all of them.
That's probably the most accurate assessment of this episode, actually. It's a 1, but it's also an 8.
It's all over the place,
Yeah.
Ginjaskan says, just seeing the old dude take kicks to the face and beat up 3 of the bridge crew. Like just that,
it's Genghis Khan.
Yeah, but he's supporting my rating, I think.
It is actually Genghis.
Genghis Khan.
It's actually Chenghis, if you want to say it the proper way.
The pronunciation Nazi. Once again, at works. So let's wrap it up.
In a world of misinformation, I am a beacon of truth.
That's right.
But Dave, what's the next episode?
Well, Jody, the next episode is the finale of season 1. Maybe not Davan's favorite. It's the neutral zone. The
It's nobody's favorite. This is no one in the world of infinite possibilities. This is no one's favorite episode of Star Trek.
Maybe.
I don't remember it.
So it's the one where they find a bunch of people on the sleeper ships, like that are frozen from being dead from the 90s.
Low mileage pit whoopee. That's how people remember this episode.
Oh God, yeah, that's a terrible.
That's all you have to say. That's all anyone remembers from this episode. He needs a low mileage
like
pit
there's
whoopee.
the cowboy. There's the cowboy guy.
What do you guys? I'm there for that podcast now too, and I'll tell you.
Well, you're gonna have.
I
to
love
be.
that
You are the
reintroduction of the Romulans. I love that final scene there with Mark Alimo as the Romulans like, we're back, and and we don't desire to know you. I think that maybe that southern guitar playing guy is not my favorite part of the episode or anything.
The old guy's not good. None of those frozen people are good. That's the problem.
No.
There's too much of them in the episode. They're
no,
all really
I'm not
bad.
gonna say they're great, but the episode has the stuff with the Romulans I find really good.
Right, and those other 3 ruin everything. They ruin the whole episode.
They don't ruin it for me enough. They take away from the episode, but they don't ruin it for me. So.
You know
But
what's better though, Dave?
What's that?
Tomorrow on Orville.
That's right. On the Orville, Jody, Davan's favorite show.
Davin's absolute favorite show.
Yeah, we're going to be covering the next episode of the Orville. What is the episode tomorrow, Jody?
Deflectors.
Deflectors.
Season 2, episode 7.
Okay. Well, we're going to be bringing that down, with Adam Woodward and Kevin Millard tomorrow here. Of course, we're now in the thick of our season 5 Lower Decks reviews. We just did 2 episodes on Thursday, Dos Cerritos and Shades of Green. Go check those reviews out if you
Green Orions.
Green Orions.
Green Orions. Blue Orions. I like
the Skittles of Orions.
Exactly. Where's that? It's pronounced.
And it's pronounced Orion.
Well, maybe.
Green Orions.
Blue Orions.
Wow. So go check that out.
Lower Decks
Yellow
is the
stars.
best. I gave that episode a 10. I give a lot of 10s out on Lower Decks. It's amazing.
Yeah. Not so much on Next Generation. That's season 1.
Not this season.
No. Yeah, but
It gets good. I'm not spoiling it, but this show gets good, people.
It's already good.
This ain't it. No.
It's already good.
Not.
It gets better. Anyway.
How was Dave's rant out of 10?
I give it 5. Anyway, check out everything we have here on the Live Long and Podcast channel. Our different divisions: Star Trek Radio Theater, Science Division, Class L Probes, Debate 9s, and more. And
Enterprise Month coming up.
Enterprise.
In the Science Division. Look up.
Debate 9 or trivia?
Everything. We're Enterprise themed across the board.
It's been a long road getting there from there to here, but we're going to have faith of the heart. And
Team Millard there at the top of the screen.
oh, that's right. Yeah, Kevin, we're Team Made Lard.
Great.
2.0, because the original Team Millard is
Great.
Jeff and Kevin.
I love that enthusiasm. Great.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And we
good
got
team.
Adam and
Mike.
Jody on one team, and me and my co-tutor of Trek on the other.
I didn't want to. I just wanted to show Adam a win for once.
That is what he said. He's got to show Adam how to win.
They're calling you to come on the Orville, Davan.
He won't.
They wanted to recruit me in the beginning, but they insulted me too much. I had to leave.
His honor was sullied.
You insulted the show too much.
Yes, I'm an honest person. I said that. It's the beacon of truth thing I was mentioning.
You see, you're known to speak your mind, David. It's what for.
You're a skeleton. What?
Um,
Oh.
Well, happy Halloween this week, everybody. We hope you'll enjoy it. And I think we'll be on Thursday for Lower Decks, as mentioned. So check out all the great stuff here, and we'll leave you with
Halloween special over on X-Rated tomorrow too.
Oh yeah, and Trivial Debates on our other
tonight.
channel. Tonight.
Yeah,
Check
check
the
that out
Trivial
tonight.
Debates.
Yeah.
Yeah. And without that, we'll leave you with this one. See you next time, everybody.
That was not a request. I was simply talking to myself. A human idiosyncrasy, triggered by a fascination with a particular set of facts, or sometimes brought about by senility, or used as a means of weighing information before reaching a conclusion, or as
Thank you, sir. I comprehend.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. Tune in to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. Artistic interviews with graphic histories. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And movie reviews with Hold Up, a movie podcast. And while you're at it, spin a few records with Eamon on Track. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.